Happy Sunday. Welcome. There we go. See some familiar faces out there. Adderall, loving the move to take in empathy workouts here in the sunlight. Beautiful. Let's see who else we got in there. Let me pull up the screen. Sonali, welcome. Rebecca, Jeana, our guest of honor. All right, y'all. Y'all know how this starts off. You saw the question on the screen. Your ultimate form of self-care is blank. I'd love to hear on this beautiful Sunday, self-care Sunday, in the middle, very middle, exact midpoint of Mental Health Awareness Month, May. There are 5 Sundays in May this year, if you didn't realize. All right, so who's gonna help us get warmed up here with the icebreaker question?
What was it again?
Oh, Justin, yes. All right. The question was, your ultimate form of self-care is blank.
My ultimate form of self-care is handling my to-do list so that my me time isn't jaded, so that my me time is 100% me time.
Ooh, that is so crucial. That is so crucial. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I had to delete something from my to-do list, so I did the other move today in order to like let go of the stress that I'd put on myself. All right, who else? Oh, Karen. Welcome, Karen. Where are you calling in from, Karen?
Minnesota.
Awesome. And your ultimate form of self-care is?
Right now, it's naps.
Oh my, you guys are reading my mind. This is my total list. And I saw this big smile on Gina's face as though that was a familiar voice, perhaps?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey.
Welcome, Mom. We love it when it's a family affair. Last week for Mother's Day, we had 3 mother-daughter pairs here, which was so beautiful. All right, so let's see. How about one more? Rebecca, how you feeling? You want to share some of your self-care? I'm curious.
Of course. I really like taking baths as often as possible. Even when it's hot outside, I'm like, you know what? A good sweat, a good soak.
So full on bath with like salts and
Bath with salt and, low lighting. And it's just one of the only places where I'm like, no one can come in here. Like, I'm alone. I'm in the bathroom.
beautiful. We got some head nods on the baths. That's something I haven't done since I was a kid. I was a big bubble bather back then.
Maybe get some bath salts.
We should get some bath salts, Caroline. All right, cool. So let's hear from our speaker, our interview guest for the day, Jeana. What's your ultimate form of self-care?
I'm kind of with Rebecca on this one. I'm a big bath person too. My reason is because my technology can't come with me into a tub, and then you are safe from the emails and the texts. But the other primary means, I would say I'm torn between these two, but I think the actual ultimate is just getting outside and being in nature, and leaving my phone at home for that as well.
I see that theme. The no tech zone.
Mm-hmm.
Is there if it's in the zone, then it seems like the self-control there might be.
Oh yeah. I'm deeply addicted to my technology. I think that could resonate with some of us, but if I can see my phone, I reach for it. I actually made an effort over the past month or so to just eliminate how much time I touch my phone, because then I feel more productive, and I also just feel more sane. It's that sort of like productivity mental health sanity loop for me with technology.
All right. Feels like almost foreshadowing for the talk that we're about to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we go ahead and kick off the next portion of our day here. So everyone, join me in offering a warm welcome to Jeana Anderson Cohen, the founder and CEO of Sweat Life, premier media destination that curates content and community to help women live lives better and achieve their goals.
Thank you for having me, Actually Curious. And we love partnering with you, and I'm so honored to be a part of this.
Excellent. So Jeana and Actually Curious and her organization, A Sweat Life, have had a few collabs in allyship towards offering tools for greater well-being. I was very blessed to actually be featured on A Sweat Life early in this Actually Curious journey. And later on this week, I'll be joining Jeana for and A Sweat Life for Take a Mental Health Day. So we decided, why don't we share Jeana with our community first and dive a little bit into who the person is behind the tech and behind the business. So Jeana, let me know. Did I miss anything important in your bio that you want to share before we kick off?
No, I think you covered it. But I would say that over the years that A Sweat Life's been around, we've really sort of gone from talking a lot about fitness and everything that goes with fitness towards just overall well-being, which means we're talking about mental health like half of the time because we just find it's so resonant and important to our readers.
Excellent. Yeah. So is this the first Take a Mental Health Day, or first ever inaugural?
Yeah, it is. So happy you're part of it.
And so what inspired you all to make this a priority?
So our team in general focuses a lot of our internal time on our own mental health. We try to just be very communicative on our HQ team about who needs a day off because they're fried, and who is just reaching the end of their rope and how we can help them. So we thought about how we could bring that same set of tools to the rest of the community. We also just thought about everything we've been hearing from the world during COVID. And we wanted to provide a way that people could, if they had a day off that they could spare, if they were so privileged that they could take a day off to just take care of themselves, that they could do that with sort of a focused approach, and we could curate it for them. So it truly came from our own dedication to bettering ourselves, and then also hearing from our community that they are just fried and ready to take care of themselves.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of that as well. And I actually started doing a little bit of research for an article that I'm writing, and I found a stat from Mental Health America that 90% of people working are saying that their workplace is affecting their mental health. But I guess before we jumped right into the business, right, and the business side of Jeana. But I'm curious, I guess I'm kind of almost, this is coming from a personal place as well, because today I hit a place as midway through Mental Health Awareness Month. I made a commitment to really make this an important a month where we really deliver tools, we deliver information, and actually more of ourselves to support our community. And frankly, this morning I was feeling a bit fried.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'll let you finish the question. I was like, I'm fine.
No, but really. So, I mean, we talked really briefly. I don't know if this is not sharing much, but you're juggling being wife. You so generously shared your Sunday with us. I know you got the event next week. how do you make sure that you slow down and check in with yourself and get mental health breaks?
Candidly, therapy is the answer. Like I've invested some time into my mental health, but that doesn't mean I don't reach my breaking point too. Michael, we chatted on the phone or on Zoom phone. It's the same. We chatted this week when I was having a morning when I couldn't tell the difference between. Now I know the difference, but if you'd asked me a year ago if I were sick or having a stressed out episode, I would have said I was sick. But now I was truly stressed out on Tuesday to the point where the answer was stay in bed. So I do the best I can to listen to my body and brain as it tells me to slow down. And I absolutely do the best that I can to integrate that stuff, mental health breaks, as well as just self-care into every single day. But I'm a human being like everybody else. I think we all have those days where we get to the end of the day and we're like, oh, I should have meditated, or I should have taken a bath. I'll just keep going back to that for you, Rebecca. or I should have read a book for fun, or I shouldn't have watched TV during dinner. I should have just slowed down. So I'm just trying right now. I think my biggest journey this year is to just forgive myself when I get to the end of the day and I feel all of those shoulds adding up, because that's just as bad, honestly, as not knowing the answer. If you know the answer and you beat yourself up over it, I personally feel like that kind of guilt for not taking care of yourself adds up too.
Yeah, I love that you are back to that place. And Justin sort of he commented on a different flavor of this in terms of, having your to-do list and having it linger. But if I were to bring that to almost like a macro point, is thinking about how we allow our shame or low-lying stress to sit and accumulate over time. And the more that we can, or even combining things like TV and a mindful moment that could be eating, how we contribute to that accumulative burnout. And if we're not aware of it, we can't call it into focus.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I really loved and felt supported, even in a micro way, when you shared with me on Tuesday where you were at. Actually, that was a breakthrough moment. I thought I felt more connected to you because I'd always worked with you. We both were like always on a rush, figure out the deal points, right? And then I got to see, like Jeana, and so I guess I wanted to let you know that sharing that moment and let the community know that moment made me feel in a very professional way, but love for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, and same to you. And I think honestly, Michael, that's like at the end of the day, that's the power of the work that you do, is when we make ourselves human to other people, and when they in turn like show us their humanity, like we're so much more connected. And I found that in my own life in this past year, and just sharing with some of my own struggles with mental health and just other things that I've been through, like the people that show up for me after that, it's so much more powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a radical move at times, especially when you're starting. It can feel quite intimidating to even tell yourself, establish these boundaries for yourself, let alone start to protect them with the world outside. So, actually on the warm up with Sid, we kind of closed on talking about how this Take a Mental Health Day kind of emerged out of almost like culture, so like subculture. I had to take a mental health day, right? But it is almost could be this radical statement if it was done in mass and was done with pride to those bosses and created a ripple effect. So I guess I'm curious for two things. One, where do you think this Take a Mental Health Day is going to go? And give us a sneak peek into Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I think in general, we would love, and we're not powering this movement by any means. I think just millennials, Gen Z, the youth are powering the movement of saying like, hey, I'm having a tough day, and just naming it when it happens. So I think just being able to be a part of that wave and give a name to it and give voice to maybe people who haven't been able to say that yet is all we want to accomplish from this. We really just want to give people the power and the words to say that. And on Thursday, we're going to kind of give folks who are attending a taste of what we really think could be one of the pieces of their mental health toolkit. So we've curated a day that's meant to help people find it. So we have movement in the morning. We're partnering with 305 Fitness to do dance. If dance isn't your thing, that's okay. But dance has actually been shown to help empower creativity and also to help you have a clearer head. So like it or not, we're dancing. And then at the midday hour, Michael, you're gonna lead your empathy workout, which I think will be so powerful. And we wanted to include empathy in the day because just like what we were talking about, having the power to see other people's struggles, to be able to walk in someone else's shoes, it is a huge tool for mental health. Because just like today, when you were like, that's okay. I had a scheduling snafu and you're like, oh, that's okay. And then right after that, you're like, oh, she's got a tough thing happening in her life about someone else. And it's just so powerful to be able to say that to someone else, because when you need it, and you're going to ultimately, that's there for you. Anywho, in the evening, we're going to have the founder of Happy Not Perfect, which is also a mental health organization, Poppy Jamie. She'll speak. I'll interview her. It's shaping up to be wonderful, and everyone who attends will get her book. And then we'll have a panel that'll be featuring voices in the body positivity movement. So we truly believe how you talk about your own body and other people's bodies deeply impacts your mental health too. So we want to sort of help people on that journey as well. That closes it down.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love what you all have curated here at Empathy Workout. We are really big about the connection between movement and the body and how that helps you to connect more to your emotions. And the work that you're doing on positive mindset across different lenses. Really excited that you've invited me to be a part of this program. And for my part, I mean, I'm still refining actually the talk portion. Of course, we'll do the game portion. But I'm just really excited that more and more people are thinking about how to be proactive about your own self-awareness and using that compassion for yourself. And the hard part of the compassion, the willingness to protect your boundaries and bringing that into your different circles. So we see this as a really big part in helping us to continue spreading the movement of empathy and allowing this ripple effect of creating safe space for people to show up as they are in that day and get support where they need it.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who cannot attend a full Take a Mental Health Day or laddering up, I thought it'd be fun if you and to have some reciprocity before we move into the grounding exercise. I thought it'd be fun if you and I gave 3 small ways we take mini mental health days or mini mental health breaks, so that we can keep our resilience up and show up for those that we love. And I haven't written mine down, so I'm gonna ask if you go first, and then I'm gonna try and listen presently while thinking of mine. No, I'm gonna listen, and then I'm gonna get into my body and answer from my heart. All right, That's what you do.
My day starts with a little bit of woo-woo, and that actually helps me out. And when I say a little bit of woo-woo, I actually pull a tarot card with the intention of using that to journal. Honestly, because just journaling about my life and day felt felt really self-centered. So getting the tarot cards to kind of direct me has been a really helpful exercise for me, because then it makes me think and view it as a mirror. So that's one piece of the day. And then I love my dog, and you'll hear me talk about walking. So taking walks with my dog, who's been kicked out of this room because he makes a lot of noise. That's another kind of centering and grounding point, because it's just like moments in the day, morning, noon, and night. Maverick gets walked. And then cooking is another moment. It's because my hands are occupied. Technology, you've heard me say this a couple of times, which should tell me something, but having like my hands occupied to make a meal and just thinking about like how I'm nourishing my body, and how the food like impacts my husband and my life is always really lovely in the evening.
Ooh.
What about you, Michael?
That's so beautiful, like seeing that thoughtfulness in the cooking and how it spawns off into the relationships and the nurturing. Thank you for that. I'm going to bring that into my toolkit. Well, sort of. Carol, my partner's laughing because I don't cook hardly, but when I do, I do it with love, and I do think about all of these beautiful things that Jeana thinks about as well. All right, so my three small ways to take many mental health breaks. So I'm gonna follow you and say my routine in the morning, it allows me to audit where I'm at, which overall allows me to be a little more strategic about what I'm capable of for that day. So I think in a way, it's actually a mini mental health break to check in every morning and then make a decision from there. Two, when I feel overwhelmed, as soon as I can remember, I just stop doing everything. I try to remove myself from tech. I ask for the space that I need from my partner to check in with myself. And I go within because I know something is out of line, and I have this tendency to just do stuff out of fear versus doing the right thing or the most efficient thing. And then third is, where necessary, I cancel things.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that I'm heading into a day that is overwhelming and is going to drain my tank and not going to be good. I might not show up with grace in these meetings. I'll just reschedule the day and take the day for myself as a last stopgap.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of mine too. Just getting when you get to those days and you're like, I'm not going to be productive. Like I will just be spinning my wheels. And at the end of this day, I know I will feel worse, not better. I think the only answer is nap, nap and cancel.
Awesome. Well, Jeana, you're off the hot seat.
Whew.
You're off the hot seat, and we're about to move into a bit of a grounding before we explore taking a mental health day through a game of Actually Curious. But with that, I'll hand it over to my partner in empathy workouts, Megan Lee Joy.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm going to have us all take a yummy, collective, deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. We're going to do one more, but we're going to make it intentional. We're going to inhale love. We're going to hold it at the top. We're going to relax our body underneath it. Then we're going to exhale love. And in this moment, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, finding that space in your body that gets to hold gratitude. Whatever just popped up for you, I want you to venture into that space, feeling the gratitude, however big or small, and finding one thing One action that you have done for yourself recently that you are grateful for. Breathing into it with that love, with that gratitude, no judgment. One thing recently that you have done for yourself that shows compassion. Feeling into that space, allowing that energy to grow, to feel warmer, to begin to feel energized and electric. I want this space of gratitude and self-compassion to begin to radiate and flow throughout your entire body, as if it is a creek of energy that is just slowly rippling down your arms, down your legs, around your head, until this creek turns more into a river. This river of gratitude, of loving energy flowing through your body, down and around all of your organs, down your veins, underneath your skin, perhaps even on top of your skin, until from your toes all the way up to the tip of your head, you feel this rush, this wave of love come over you, almost as if it knocks you off your feet. And feeling into a moment of stillness, appreciation as you house all of this loving energy within you. Acknowledging your feelings in this moment without judgment. Taking a deep breath into them and allowing them to be. And then with a very gentle smile, barely a smile at all, just bringing a simple awareness of this joy creeping onto your lips, onto your cheeks, noticing how it shifts your internal world as it shifts your outer world, this slight smile. And with that, bringing a little bit of movement into your toes, a little bit of movement into your fingers, possibly even a bigger smile if you feel so called, and gently opening your eyes back into this moment. Content, present. Beautiful. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining me. All right, are we ready to dive into some empathy workout? We are going to, you're welcome, do our original empathy gameplay today. No crazy surprises or twists and turns today. So we'll be playing with the Actually Curious original gameplay edition, Curiosity Edition. So just like normal, we'll need 3 volunteers to start. You can use the hand raise tool, or you can literally raise your hands however fast you want to get up here. And we will discuss each question for a few minutes and move on to the next round. We are going to vote. I was going to maybe take the voting rights away from you in that moment, but we're going to vote on if we get to go up or down a level. We get to listen to our bodies, listen to our hearts. Okay, you guys. So starting with the blue level, 3 volunteers, please. Okay, Jeana, I will give you the honors of 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which card would you like to choose?
3. I'm feeling 3.
All right. 3 is, who's someone from your childhood who shaped who you are today and why? So whoever feels called may answer first.
So in junior high, I was in the AVID program. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. It's basically a college prep elective.
Yup.
And one of my tutors, Mr. Villanueva, was a cellist professionally on the side. And he knew that I had interest in violin. So he kind of just straight up asked me, well, have you ever tried cello? I play cello. I can give you free lessons. And I was like, well, yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up very poor and he had an extra cello. So he actually took his time after school twice a week training me, on cello. And I ended up going to the county honor orchestra and third chair for all of junior high and high school because of it. So it was pretty amazing. That's my story.
That's so cool. Oh, love those humans. That's so beautiful that that showed up for you. Mm.
I can go. I will say it was my dean of students. I grew up in a predominantly white town, and I did not connect with the education that was being propagandized to me, I guess, and I used to act up, and my dean of students, instead of suspending me, he put me to work with the basketball team as an athletic trainer, which occupied my time. And it also led me to be an athletic trainer in college and working at the third largest basketball tournament in the US, the CIWA. And as I was thinking about that, that's really where I got my start for the love of the body, the touch of the body, and understanding somatics and how trauma is stored there. So yeah, thanks for that question.
Thank you for that share. That's great.
That leaves me. My mom is on this call, so I'll say my mom, but I'm going to add to that. My mom, and in the 3rd grade, my teacher, and I'm also loving that we're all choosing educators too. So my teacher, Mrs. Reuter, I'll never forget her. She went against sort of the prescribed curriculum and spent the year in 3rd grade teaching us about aerospace, which is not, I don't think how most people spend their 3rd grade. And so she introduced us as a strong, intelligent woman to all of these strong, intelligent female astronauts and pilots. And we learned about Amelia Earhart through her. And I'll never forget it. I was convinced that I was going to be an astronaut. I did not become an astronaut. That's why I'm here today. But I did sort of lean into the fact that strong, intelligent women get to be that unapologetically because of what I learned through her. So that was my big takeaway.
I love these educators going above and beyond. Yes. Great, you guys. Thank you. So I'm going to ask everyone whether we stay on this level or we move up a level. And we still have some really great questions on this level too. So it's every level has its own beauty. So what are you feeling? If you want to go up, put your hand up. If you want to stay the same, just like neutral vibes. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're going up. It has occurred. All right, now you get to volunteer to play this round. Who's up?
I can go.
All right, yes. Where was that beautiful voice coming from?
Ruby, I'm at work, so
Ruby!
I can't show
Beautiful.
myself right now.
That's
it'd be-
okay. Okay, beautiful. All right, so Ruby, I'm going to have you pick number 1 through 3.
2.
All right, let's do it. Okay, what's something that triggers fear in you, and how does your body respond to fear? So no rush, you guys. Take a moment.
I'll say when someone starts screaming or yelling,
Ooh.
I get really like what's happening? And my body, like my chest will get really tight, my throat clamps down, my shoulders. I just do a full-on body brace.
Mm.
And I pray that it's over soon.
Yeah.
And I'm
remember
usually
those.
thinking the entire time, like, why are you yelling that? Like, if it's not like fire or like, watch out, like, why are we yelling?
Mm. Truth. I think that's a huge insight we gain as adults. Like, there's really, even with horns, especially with horns, why
Yes.
is someone about to die? Don't use your horn.
Yes.
Like,
We don't need to be that aggressive.
we
Chill
don't need to
out.
go here. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Ruby.
We're only born with 2 fears. Did you know this?
Yeah, isn't it the fear of, I don't
Loud
know, I
noises,
always forget.
loud noises, and falling. Those are only 2
So
fears.
we have no excuses.
Well, those loud noises, they're real bad. Michael, do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
I'm feeling like you going.
Okay.
It's evolving as I hear things. So
Yeah. Okay. What sparks fear in me? Getting real deep, real personal, guys. My dad is dying of cancer and Parkinson's, and watching him suffer on the last stretch of his life, having never really been happy, is a real big fear of mine. It's a real big fear of mine that I one, end up like him, and 2, I don't get to finish everything that I want to in this beautiful life. And I spend a lot of time in my head, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna miss something. This most important part of it. And in my body, that manifests itself as body shakes, and I don't sleep, and panic, anxiety, my brain just going a million miles a minute, where I really have to work to get it to mellow out. I can get there. Luckily, I can always get there, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's going to calm down. Which is it's a real shame, because I wasn't afraid of anything. I was fearless up until very recently. So this is all new to me.
Thank you so much for sharing. and for feeling and for being. And I invite you to look at the chat because there's a lot of love in there for you.
All right. Justin, my man, I'm overwhelmed with love for you and pride. Also, at a bit of a loss for words. That's some of the most open and vulnerable sharing I've witnessed. I feel sad for you, what you're going through, and yeah, and I wanna offer that we haven't gotten to connect a ton, but I've just gone through some serious loss as well, and I can listen. I can listen as good as the next one, and I can relate, or just listen.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'll answer the question because I'll answer the question, and it's in reverse. So the feeling I get when I feel fear is tightness in my chest, almost as though my rib cage is bending inward, like like meaning to almost like collapse over my heart, like protect it so much. Um, and I feel it mostly when entering into a difficult or challenging question or conversation or situation that I'm afraid of, like how to be in love, be in uh, grace, and be patient, and be all of these things while confronting uh, whatever the challenge is. And so I felt it throughout the question. I felt it listening to Justin, but it opened up actually listening to Justin share. I guess that's not really a specific answer, but that's what I got.
I love it. This is a beautiful, that was how you just phrased that, Michael. An example of something that I've realized on a whole new level recently, which is the release comes when you go into the fear and into the pain and into the vulnerability. That's where the love opens up. And I'm so used to being in that fear and in that pain and in panic. How do I get out of it? What can I do to alleviate it? And then finally realizing, like, I just have to rip the band-aid off. I just have to go into it for a moment instead of that resistance for a lifetime. It's just that moment of truth to get out the other side. Whew, practice. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. All right, Adderall, are you raising your hand for the next round, or do you have something to say?
I just want to like piggyback off what you said. I was thinking as Justin stated that this is his first fear, in a sense, that I was like, I'm excited for him because he's alive, and pain and fear brings attention to something, and we can stay in that state, or we can just look at it and smile and know that we're alive and there is hope to get out of that state. So I'm excited for you, Justin, and here for you and anyone else who is feeling something. You're alive. And that's gratitude.
Mm. Thank you for that perspective, Adderall. That's beautiful. All right, you guys, are we going up a level or are we staying on green? I'm seeing the up. Look how many choices we have this round. All right, we have Seren, beautiful. Ooh, Michael's calling some people out in the chat. All right, yes, Sonali, amazing. Ivy, do you take it? Okay, all right. Okay, let's get all you guys up here. Okay, Sonali. Okay, Seren. All right, girl. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Number 3, please.
When was the last time you cried? What was it about?
So mine is easy. It was this morning. I am in a liturgical drama group called Just Peace Players, and we were doing our latest play at a church this morning, and we taped the play in Zoom, and it's a play about anti-racism and how we, deal with anti-racism in our lives. And I hadn't, I sit through it a lot, but I hadn't listened to what we were doing, and I sing in it a lot. And I found myself crying as I was listening to the Zoom this morning. It was very moving for me to hear what the things that we had thought about and the things that we brought forward, and to see people's reactions to them as we were in service today. So that was it.
That's beautiful. That connection, that free flow. Thank you for sharing that.
Guess I can go. So it's been a while since I've cried. I don't cry that often. I should probably cry more. But the last time was in October when I lost an aunt to COVID. And she was an important person in our family. So that's tough.
Thank you for sharing that.
The last time that I cried was as Justin was sharing, and I feel so nervous because I feel like I'm going to cry again. But I feel I really feel so when I really feel like everything's lifted, everything that's worrying me is lifted, it's after I've spoken to people and after I've, gotten it off my chest and able to voice any worries. And I understand myself more the more that I talk as well. I process things out loud. And so, yeah, I don't, there were so many things that Justin mentioned that myself similar things, but I don't, but I also don't want to go through them. I just wanted to say something that I keep seeing evidence of is that no matter what we're going through, we aren't really ever truly alone in that situation or that experience. And I just really, really wanted to say thank you so much to this whole group for being here, because just like at the end of a week and and just before the beginning of a week, it's this hour on the Sunday that really really feels like it brings me back to myself. So yeah, I usually cry every time during these sessions.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Seren, and for sharing
Thank
you.
you.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to make an executive decision and have us do one more round. I'm going to bring Karen up and I'm going to pick the card. And we can have more people come up as well. Karen, so sorry I missed you in the chat.
Not a problem.
So we have a beautiful question that we are going to end with. You guys can decide if you want to jump in. But Karen, I will relay the question to you. What is guaranteed to bring you happiness?
Family.
Jeana, I loved your response. Yeah,
100% my family.
Mm.
And I just had surgery and they all have taken beautiful care of me.
That's so lovely. That support.
My heart is beating so fast that I almost, I'm not going to try to override your executive decision, Megan Lee Joy. But I'm just feeling like a sense of family in this room from a crew of strangers. Like I'm not sure that we've fostered here. Well, I'm sure we have, but it just feels particularly special right at this moment. So I'm just feeling like the family that is like the collective. And since I've been pursuing that, I've been so freaking happy. So
I've had a collective family take care of me. So I agree with you, Michael.
It's beautiful, Karen.
I love that we've modeled both today. How, some people aren't blessed to have family be something that is guaranteed to bring you happiness, but we all do have the choice to have chosen family and to emanate our beings and attract like-minded individuals, especially in spaces like this. So blessed to be able to experience that today and all Sundays. Well, if anyone else feels called to jump in, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we will move on to announcements.
I'll jump in and say, like, waking up to a sun-filled room or just being in a sun-filled room just takes away something in my life and adds everything.
I love that. It's so true. I had to get my apartment. I had to get an apartment that was full of sun. Like it had to have light like 90% of the day, or else I would rather live on the streets outside. Just it has to be beautiful.
I'll say for me, dancing. Whenever I'm dancing, I'm like, woof, in a new mood state. That's always feeling good.
Yes, Ruby. Yes.
For me, it's traveling. For me, it's just being somewhere I've never been before.
Guaranteed happiness. Thank you, guys. I invite you to dig into that question for the rest of this day and week. All right, let's move into our beautiful announcements because we have some exciting ones coming up.
That's my cue if I turn the mic on. All right, so we've got a couple really exciting things coming up. As we mentioned at the top of the program, this Thursday. Okay, just a little typo, but 5/20, that's Thursday. I'll be joining a Sweat Life for Take a Mental Health Day. The program is really amazing. I suggest you give it a look. And if you are able, join, and otherwise sign up for their newsletter and follow a Sweat Life, because what they're doing is awesome. Next week, we'll be taking this Mental Health Awareness Month into a different phase and illustrating how allies come together to support the resilience and well-being of the collective. So almost a really great place from where we closed off. We'll be joined by School Leader Lab, which is an organization that upskills educators and administrators for K-12 education. And actually, we're partnering with them and teaching the tools of empathy to within their cohort. So that's a really exciting opportunity for us to amplify the movement within K-12 education. And we can't wait to talk about that and share that with the community. We'll also be joined by Activism, which is a wellness duo who's created a class that is a boxing boot camp meets anti-racism training. It's really cool stuff. We've partnered with them on a Juneteenth event that it's not live yet. It's not live yet because, you know, sometimes things don't work out exactly as planned and we surrender. But we're really excited to share them next week, get that Eventbrite live. And we're going to be doing a new event style where we're mashing up empathy training with their boxing boot camp meets anti-racism training. So super excited about that new experiment in spreading empathy. And finally, we're but weeks away at the end of this month. We will be releasing the Actually Curious Human Rights Edition, our fourth and most important edition yet. And we have a special empathy workout planned where, you know, my theme this whole month's been surrendering to the wonderful support that I've been so blessed to manifest. And we're going to have them take the spotlight. So Caroline, Rebecca, and Jeana, who led the copywriting, they'll be on a panel and talking about the experience from briefing to the launch moment of the Actually Curious Human Rights Edition. And if you haven't yet, you can pre-order yours and get in queue to make sure you get yours first on actuallycurious.com. And with that, we'll close with an intention for the week, continuing with this Take a Mental Health Day theme in Mental Health Awareness Month. Our intention is, I make space to rest and heal when I need it. And, you know, as our talks kind of went through today, that evolves, and having the awareness with yourself to even know when you need to take the break, that might be the starting place. But wherever you are in that journey, just take care of yourself first. You know, as Justin said, it's the here and the now, and the relationships and connections that we have when we can be in our courage, in our ability to open our hearts to one another. That brings us to a close. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. That's a wrap. See you all next week. Seren, see you next week to hold that beautiful space. Sonali, well done today. Nice stretch. Ivy, thank you as always. Jeana, well done.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you later this week. Justin, thank you for your beautiful modeling of vulnerability. Karen, welcome to your first empathy workout.
Thank you.
We're sending you healing energies from all over the country and world, even from the UK, because Saran's holding it down. The healing of the collective. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week. I hope to see some of you at a Sweat Life. Take a mental health day. Take care.